Hey, it's your girl AK with Riot Music Agency, and I'm here on Digital Discourse.
Welcome to Digital Discourse. Welcome to Digital Discourse. Yeah.
All right, back with another episode. Today we have Riot Music Agency founder Miss AK. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's cold outside. This weather's catching me off guard, but we're here. Thanks for coming on today.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the opportunity.
Okay. Yeah. I saw you at that showcase that Wings was having at the bullpen. You came up and talked about everything you're doing, and I thought it was interesting. So for starters, I just want to know what your background is.
So, I don't come from a music background. I did want to be in the industry. In college, I majored in architecture because I had dreams of doing stage and set design, but also a little bit of like event curating in there. But with that, I ended up going into construction and kind of learning more so project management, people management, things of that nature. Um, but yeah, I literally got into Riot because it started off with me just helping a friend. And you met him, Raw Six Pack. Um, he was kind of starting his journey with music, and in doing that, like we were going to different showcases or just kind of like exploring different options for him to be able to put his name out there more. But as we were going to certain showcases, we noticed that they just weren't, you're paying a lot of money, but these weren't necessarily serving the artists that were participating. So I kind of sat there one day and I was like, okay, like, there's no point in seeing you spend your money for unnecessary reasons. How about we work together and figure out a way to create better opportunities for artists? But then that ended up becoming more so now making better opportunities for everybody in the industry, especially here in the DMV, to benefit.
Okay, that's cool. I'm curious, what did you see that you thought you could do better? Because you said like you see they weren't serving the artists. So in what way were you going about doing that?
Just incentives. Like I feel like a lot of people struggle, especially like when you're starting out as far as like content, generating their own content, being able to pay for spaces for photo shoots or being able to pay somebody to shoot a promotional video for them. And that's not to say that there aren't groups out here that like do that, because there are, but I just don't feel like that there's enough, or at least like when people are having like specific needs that need to be met, it's like they're just not.
Okay, that makes sense. And when you say it could benefit everyone in the industry, that goes beyond just the artists?
Yeah, so venues, other agencies like, myself that want to work in, I guess, different areas or be a part of different events, producers, I guess, studios, DJs, photographers, videographers, like literally trying to create just opportunities for everybody.
Okay, that's nice. So does it go, we'll get into the showcase next, but as far as the agency, do you offer like artist services, or is it just the showcase for now, or is it like a management group?
So right now it's just the showcase. I'm the type of person, if anybody needs anything, like just DM me. Like if you ever need anything, if you're, want to, like for DJs, for example, I'm actually in a group chat with, I'm not going to say all the DJs in the DMV, but it's definitely a majority of them. It's about 70 of them in that group chat.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And, I put in there, like, I have opportunities coming up, but if I know somebody needs a DJ, like, last minute for something, I'll just throw it in there and say, hey, if anybody's interested, like, hit me up, because XYZ is looking for a DJ with this budget amount.
Okay.
And it's happened one day, so it worked out.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. I like when you can get into a situation you can add value, so that's good. Okay, so the showcase, this is your second year doing this.
Yes.
How'd the first year go?
The first year was interesting. I will say that I ran into an issue where a lot of people were thinking the showcase was a scam.
You get that a lot with showcases.
Yeah, and I mean, understandably so, because, in helping Raw, definitely around and found out. So, um, so yeah, like people thought it was a scam, and I had to kind of dial back on what I wanted to do last year because it just wasn't worth that initial output. So I did obviously put out a lot and put a lot into it because we had like Light Show as a judge and we had TOB there, but we wanted to do more opportunities. So like this time around, we're doing the photo shoots, we're doing the interviews, we're doing the auditions so that people have content and things that they can post. But overall, I just wanted to make it an experience. So that's what this year is about.
Okay. So what did you learn from what went wrong during the first one that you were able to learn from?
I'll say more so, it just more so goes into like the promotion and putting myself out there.
Okay.
I think because I didn't want to put my face out there last year, people weren't, again, they thought it was a scam. It was like a faceless scam. So, they weren't really necessarily interested, but I wouldn't say too much went wrong.
Okay.
That I could really see aside from that.
Okay. And when it comes to how much you put into it, like really backing it up with your own money and your time and blood, sweat, tears, all of that. Mm-hmm. Speak on that part, because a lot of people are afraid to invest in themselves and really go into the red with the hope of getting to green. But you don't have a problem doing that. You're doing it again.
Listen here, y'all. there's a lot that went into it. Like when I tell y'all, a loss is going to be taken, especially when you're investing in yourself in like this type of way. Like, yeah, it happens, but at the end of the day, it's worth it, especially when you're applying yourself like the best way that you can. And I will say that definitely worked out for me because I'd do it again 10 times over.
Okay. So how are you going about legitimizing it all? People to separate yourself from the potential scam aspect of the whole thing.
Utilizing the artists that were in it last year and the people that I've worked with already. I've realized so one thing, John with Perfect House, John P, he'll always say and he's not the only one, but he'll always say your network is your net worth.
Mm-hmm, that's the same. He didn't make that up, but that's...
I know. But that's why I'm saying other people say it. He say it all the time. I feel like that's literally his biggest thing is just networking. If there's anybody that talk about networking more than anybody I know, it's him.
Because it's overlooked. People all say it, you hear that saying, you hear your some of the 5 people but nobody does anything to know 5 better people.
Yeah.
So it's a real thing.
Yeah, and I've realized that in networking, I don't know, I didn't realize how many people really just kind of after I've networked with them and they see what's going on and they're seeing at least where I'm trying to go and what I'm trying to do. It's they're more inclined to want to work with me, or if they have worked with me the artist. Mm-hmm. I know that, at least to my knowledge, I know that they'll have nothing but good things to say about the experience, because at the end of the day, for one, I wanted to treat them, my bad. At the end of the day, I wanted to treat them like artists. I didn't want to just treat them as if, thanks for the money, all right, bye. But actually providing an experience and making them feel good about themselves and their craft and the things that they do.
Yeah. And that's important. The value is there, and it's very clear that you care, that you're not out here just bullshitting, trying to slap something together. You really trying to build something big here. So
yes.
With that being said, outside of the scam part of it and people not thinking it was real, were there any other challenges that you faced? What were they?
I don't know. I feel also just in general dealing with other people, especially when they don't know what you're about, people kind of really be skeptical, and it was kind of getting rid of people's skepticism.
Okay.
I don't know. I also feel people doubted me too, maybe. Well, not maybe. I definitely think a lot of people doubted my ability, because one thing about me, I'll talk myself up. I'm not going to talk myself up to be super OD cocky crazy, but if I know I can do something or it's going to get done, I'll speak it, because, yeah. No.
As you should. Nah, there's a lot of scary people who I was talking about that this morning. Like some people will look at you like, how dare you have the audacity to believe in yourself and go for something? Because I know I wouldn't. And it really is just a bunch of projections, and you gotta just just move all that shit to the side. Like Kanye said, if you hang around people who act like you aren't who you are, then you'll forget. And it's so real. It's so real. So keep talking yourself up. Don't listen to those people. And keep backing it up like you're doing, obviously. For what your agency offers, how can other people in the industry benefit?
Whenever I'm putting together like these productions, and I know I spoke a little bit with you on like, you know, what I have coming up, it's always an opportunity. Like, I just put out a flyer because, you know, I'm looking for local designers and clothing brands to promote. At least in like, you know, my next upcoming project, having artists wear their, you know, wear their clothing, wear their brands, wear their outfits, and just help to put their name out there. Like, you know what I mean? So like, granted, you know, they're not necessarily like musicians or people that are directly in the industry, but still can benefit from what's going on. Same thing with venues. Like if I, you know, choose to do something outside of my showcase, it's like, okay, well, I could work with this venue as well to help bring more attention to what they have going on. Actually, a new restaurant, and I don't know the name off the top of my head, but there's like a new bar and restaurant in DC. They actually reached out to me because they saw like I was doing stuff at the consortium. And they were like, yeah, you know, we want to reach out to you so we can actually like sit down and, you know, talk about events, or you possibly coming here to host like, you know, whatever upcoming thing that you have.
Okay. That's
So
cool.
just things like that.
Like just one big network, pretty much.
And it's just like if I'm doing something like, I try to make it big enough so that a lot of people benefit from it, not just like one little video where I only need like one cameraman or one little thing. Like, no, I try to put together productions.
Okay. That's nice. And you're kind of solely doing this by yourself, or you have partners? Like, what's the whole structure of the agency?
For the most part, I do a lot of things solo, but when I'm doing like bigger projects, I do bring in other people to kind of like, well, at least at this point, I bring in other people to help out because last year it was just me and Raw doing everything, from the promoting to bringing all the equipment places and just getting stuff done. But then it got to a point where, you know, it's too much just for me, and it's just too much to be just, you know, him and I doing stuff at the end of the day, because he had his own career and things to focus on.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to take that time away from him. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. So this all started with just you trying to help him out, and now it's become like your own thing. And you feel like you still have that same passion behind it? Like, have you fallen in love with it now, and then you like happy that this happened type of situation?
I am. I do really enjoy like what I do. I enjoy helping artists and other people in the industry. I have a lot of fun, met a lot of cool people. So, yeah, it's definitely something I can see myself doing long term.
Okay. You seem like you definitely have the energy for it, rather you believe that or not. And then you worry about putting yourself out there. But this will probably be the breakthrough. And you'll get over that, get all the jitters off, and get it out. So what do you see beyond showcases? Where do you see this going? Have you thought about that already?
Oh, yeah. So, and it's so funny because I'm kind of utilizing the showcase to do this. But I feel like a part of, especially like going back into like the initial premise of it, of helping artists, and especially in this area, is either getting them out of the area or bringing other people from outside in to be able to kind of like, you know, mix, mingle, network in that sense. But I want to travel with it. I want to be able to take artists from here elsewhere to perform and network. Again, back to like the whole network, because John and his friend Keys were actually planning a tour,
Okay.
like a
Like Live Nation kind of thing.
I guess.
You know
I
what
mean,
that is? Okay.
yeah, it's like a out of state tour. So they were gonna like fly a few artists to like wherever, and then kind of like tour bus it or however they
And
plan.
these are the Perfect House guys.
Yeah, well, John is Perfect House, and Keys is We're All Dreamers, I
Okay.
believe. But they're good friends, and they're trying to make bigger opportunities as well. And that's why, like, working with people like that, like, at the end of the day, when your dreams or your goals kind of align, it just makes it so much easier to be able to like work with people in groups like that.
Okay.
But yeah, I want to take this elsewhere. I want to take it out of the state. I want people from here to get that kind of exposure, because a lot of times they just kind of stick to local showcases and then pray that their music is going to go viral. But
Yeah.
sometimes it's like, no, travel, go somewhere, go to a different club, go to a different state, like put yourself out there.
So taking it out of here, but still as a showcase, do you have plans to change the business structure at all? Like maybe make it a label, a management group, like more involved in the music.
I think with time I'll figure that out. Because a lot of people do ask me, like, am I label, am I management, am I A&R? And it's like, I feel like I do that kind of, sort of, but like not necessarily. It's more so like indirectly, because at the end of the day, I feel like these entities like actually invest the money into the artist, where in this case, I'm encouraging like artists to be able to invest in themselves, because I feel like when you're starting, that's the only thing that you can really do.
Makes sense. And some of the connections I've made since I've been doing this have revealed to me that labels are kind of over that. They're only taking proven products now and moving forward with that. They're not interested in funding and building the person up. So it seems like these artists are gonna have to learn that anyway. So
Yeah.
from what I've been heard, what I've been told, but I'm not in it. It's a guy with a mic. The Perfect House partnership. How'd that come about?
He ain't think I was a scam.
Okay.
I I remember I posted one of the flyers. It was like one of my initial flyers, and he had reached out and was like, "Yo, are you really giving away like $2,000 at a showcase?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "All right, I'm throwing in 24 hours of studio time." And I was like, "Okay." Like
It's just that simple.
yeah, but
That's
I think
fire.
he was still obviously like a little skeptical, because it did take me coming out there and meeting him in person, and actually like you know actually at this point building a friendship, because he's literally like my big brother.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he saw that like I carried through with the showcase and everything pretty much went as planned, and after that he was like, "Okay, yeah, no, we're working together." So I was like, "Okay."
Oh, that's solid. You can like I said, you seem very serious and that you about what you trying to accomplish in this. And people who really working towards something can understand it and see it. So that's beautiful. I like that. I like that a lot. So what would you tell an artist who wants to come aboard and he thinks it's a scam and he has some kind of concerns? What would you say to that artist for why they should come on your showcase?
It's an opportunity. I think that unlike a lot of other showcases, because people will try to put a name in there and then think that, okay, just because I have this judge here, like there's a chance you might become famous, or there's a chance you might whatever. And it's like, okay, it's more than just that, because what else are you offering? What opportunities are you offering? Is it something that's going to be beneficial for them that they can post on their page? Like, and I also feel like a lot of what I do is like long term. So even for the people who were in last year's showcase, I'm bringing them back for my project. So it's like, I don't want to say like a lifelong thing, but it's like, you don't just benefit from it from that one time. Like there's always going to be more and more opportunities,
Okay.
especially if you're already part of it. It's like, just ask.
And when you say bringing them back for your project, what's the project? The second showcase or?
No, I don't want to talk about it yet.
Okay.
Okay. It's what I told you about for in April.
Okay.
So I just kind of want to keep it as a surprise, because I don't want to. That's something I don't want to talk up. I know I'd be talking up stuff, but
we can keep it off. But you know, we can keep it until they're ready. Well, is there anything that you haven't revealed to the public that you want to kind of throw out there now? Maybe potential judges or I don't know, anything that you just haven't.
I'm screaming. You was just ready for me to. Okay, so y'all. So can so Rich is about to be a judge, y'all.
Yes.
And also, Digital Discourse is actually a sponsor for the showcase this year. Woo! So yeah, I mean, I'm really excited again, just like I said, like networking and just, bringing people in to be a part of the experience and just seeing like what I'm about and the people that I'm working with are about. So it should be fun.
Yeah. Well, I'm personally looking forward to it. I like this kind of energy. I like people going for something. I like being in a room with artists who have a dream. It's like being around dreamers and period. It's just a energy that you can feel in the room, and I like it.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I have. Is any last minute things you want to say to the people who will be seeing you, maybe for the first time since you don't like to show your face?
Oh, Jesus Christ Superstar. Y'all gonna be seeing my face a lot more.
Okay. Is that all you have?
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Any last minute advice for anybody who's going for their dream?
Keep investing in yourself. A lot of doors will be closed in your face and you're going to hear a lot of no's, but that doesn't mean stop. Like, keep it pushing because I promise you, like, one day those no's are going to be yeses and new doors are going to open so you don't have to worry about the ones that got closed in your face.
And that is a fact.